Hey guys, Matt with CJ Off-Road here. Today we're going to be installing this AWE performance exhaust onto our 2016 F-150. Now this exhaust is a dual exit exhaust that's going to pop out right below the rear bumper. Now this exhaust from AWE features a large variety of different customizable options depending on your rig and the way you want to get it set up. It's constructed out of 3-inch mandrel bent stainless steel and made right here in the USA, so you know the fit and finish are going to be perfect for your brand new vehicle. Now what it's going to fit is a 2015 to 19 F-150 as well as the F-150 EcoBoost. It's going to work with a 3.5 liter, 2.7 liter, and the 5.0 liter Coyote, which is what we're going to be installing it on today. The installation process is going to be the exact same. Depending on what you buy, it'll still be the exact same process. Now as you can see here on my right, I've got the resonator front pipe as well as the non-resonated front pipe. Those are two different options you can select depending on the loudness you want your exhaust to produce. And what I'm going to show you in today's video is the difference in those two. You can also change out the rear tips for a 5-inch black or a 5-inch chrome tip. They are going to be a dual exit, so it'll be very nice. And you can also do this as a single exit with the dual tips on one side. There's really a ton of customization available with this kit, and it's going to work with just about any truck you throw it on, as long as it's a 15 to 19 F-150. We've also got extension pieces if you've got an 8-foot bed, and it's going to work perfectly for just about any truck. Now today we're going to get installed on this 2016 F-150, how it sounds on the F-150 5.0, as well as how it sounds on the EcoBoost, so let's do it. So we've got our truck up in the air, but the first two bolts that we want to remove is actually on the rear section. There's going to be two 10mm bolts, one on the lower part of the frame rail and then one on the upper. Now what you can do is slide this off here. However, I find it much easier to just loosen these off, completely remove them, and then the hanger will just fall down. After we get those two out, we'll move on to the rear. Then we're going to go to the center section. As you can see guys, on most of these I've already sprayed a penetration oil just to make it a little bit easier. Ours aren't too rusted, but it'll make the process a little bit quicker. Use a 10mm once again on these and get them pulled off. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I'd much rather fight with the rubber seals on the ground than up in the air where they can be awkward and in different weird spots. So we're gonna have to pull this off of there, but we'll do it on the ground and then swap it onto the new muffler. For these, I'm just gonna thread them right back into the place. That way we don't lose them. How about that, fellas? Okay guys, so there's two more bolts right up front. They're gonna be 13mm flange bolts. That's what holds this all together on the flange up front. Honest to God, I wear earmuffs when I do this because if they are on there really tightly, they are gonna pop and crack, and it echoes through the whole studio to where Bill can hear it actually 2 doors down. So we're definitely gonna wear some ear protection and just super penetrate on that with the oil. You are gonna need to reuse this hardware, so make sure when you're pulling it out, you're careful of that. If not, you can go to local hardware store and get the bolts if they do decide to snap, which might make it a little bit quicker for you. So we're gonna go ahead and get it pulled out now, see what happens. Now to get this off, what we're gonna do is do it as one section. We left one of the top hangers on, so we've got this all loose. We're gonna push it that way until it pops off that hanger. I then drop this end down. This is gonna be the front of the truck. I then completely fish it through as one unit. I've got Brendan helping me, make it a little bit easier. So as you can see, now we're just gonna fish it through. Got it, Brendan? And just walk it away. First thing that we're gonna do is put on the front section. Now I'm deciding to show you guys how to put on the non-resonated section. This is a little bit lighter for me to pick up and tighten these down. The install process is the exact same if you've got the resonator on the front pipe. Now these up here are gonna use your factory bolts. I like to just get them in there loosely. That way it's holding the weight of it. However, you are gonna need to move this around left to right, up and down a little bit when putting on the other sections. Okay guys, now it's time to put the center section on. It's gonna have to go through 2 clamps. You don't wanna push it too far because you still do have to line up the front section there. Okay guys, we got the clamp on there and I'm not gonna tighten that down yet, just gonna get it into place. Now let's move on to the rear section. First slide a 3-inch band clamp over there. And then here's where we get the splitter. That's gonna slide right over there. I'm gonna let this loose right now too so I can swivel it. And here's where the fun part comes. You know, these trucks were not equipped with a dual exhaust from factory. AWE had to figure it out, and this is their answer to it. So basically we're gonna go through now and run these through to the back, and I'll show you guys what to do on each side. Okay guys, now this kit comes with a nice stainless steel plate where you're actually gonna thread the bolts in through the back and then fish it into your frame rail. This is what's gonna hold up these brackets, which wrap around your frame rail. You can actually slot them right into there and tighten them down like so. It's actually pretty simple once you figure it out. You're gonna snug these up using a 13mm socket. You don't have to go anything crazy on these. Then repeat the process on the other side. All right guys, so for the passenger side, we're gonna use C20. These pieces are all labeled too, so you wanna make sure that you keep them on track. That's gonna go in there. And up top here, this is gonna go inside the bushing on the hanger. So come up. Once you have that side in place, we're gonna pull this clamp up. Go ahead and just get that tightened down. Then after that piece, you're gonna use C23. Slide another clamp on. Get that set into place. Clamp is there. Then what we're gonna do is actually set the tip here and see how that looks. There is another extension piece, so you can make it stick out farther depending if you have a larger bed. Last thing to go into place will be your tip. That'll just slide right on, and you can select where you want it if you want it to pop out from your bumper a little bit, tuck underneath it, or sit flush with it. But we're gonna go ahead and put the driver's side on and run all those over before we get the tips, and then go through and tighten everything down. There's a lot of clamps and different things we worked on before we get the tips in the final spot. So now we're gonna get this driver's piece set into place. Make sure it's all the way in. And then this is gonna go on the hanger we installed on that bolt-on bracket. So there's on. Let's make sure this is fully seated. It is. Now we're gonna go ahead and tighten down a band clamp on this back section, and then we'll move on to over here to get that exhaust out the back. Slide a 3-inch band clamp over this section of the pipe, and then you're gonna use C22. It's gonna slide right onto there, and we'll get this one snugged up. I've just got that snugged up. I wanna get the tip on and line that up into place before I fully tighten everything down. So let's go ahead and grab one of those AWE black tips, put them on here. So we're gonna set that on there. Now, I personally think this looks good, lined up with the rear bumper. So we're gonna go ahead, get it tightened down right there. This one's all up to personal preference, so you can pretty much do this exactly where you want it and give your truck, you know, the look that you want on it. So now we're gonna go back through and tighten everything down that we put on before to make sure that there's no leaks when we start the truck. All right, let's start her up and see how she sounds. Alright guys, well that's a wrap on this dual exit exhaust from AWE for your 2015 to 19 F-150. And one of the nicest things about this exhaust is that it's constructed out of 304 stainless steel, and it's made right here in the USA. It's a 3-inch tubing, and it's extremely durable to give you a perfect fit and finish, and it's going to last a long time here in those Pennsylvania roads or whatever part of the country you're from. Now the dual black tips look great on this gray truck, but there's also chrome tips available, and you get to choose between resonated and non-resonated. And you just saw the clips of what they sound like, so you can choose what kind of driving style you like and what kind of sound you want your truck to produce. Now if you're looking for a great exhaust for your 2015 to 19 F-150, be sure to check out this AWE exhaust right here at cjponyparts.com. Hope you enjoyed that video. To stay up to date on our CJ Off-Road videos, make sure to subscribe up top here, and for any other installs, make sure to click the link right above.